Going all in on yourself doesn't have to look like moving to Bali, which is what I did. And I think a lot of what the internet is telling people these days is that to go all in on yourself, you need to quit the job, you need to move abroad, you need to blow up your whole life, and then that's going all in on yourself, and that's what's going to get you to the next level, to the launching the book or um, launching the course or becoming an influencer or whatever the dream is. There's a lot of internet telling people that that's what going all in on yourself is. And I I didn't do this. I didn't move to Bali to make a statement or to, yeah, like go all in on myself. I actually did this because it was a part of my year of no plans. At the beginning of the year, I was house sitting in Hawaii, pet sitting in Hawaii, and I came to the end of that with the choice of either going home and continuing to create content and continuing to create reels and things like that, or going to Bali and being in Indonesia and being closer to the diving that I wanted to do, being in a place that's more affordable, in a place where I could spend less time cooking and cleaning and doing laundry and all of the household chores that can, take up time. And it just felt like a good choice in the moment I was making it. And also, I had saved money over the course of like the past 10 years to be able to do something like this where I didn't make any money for, I think I budgeted for 5 months. And so I had a plan, and I also had, well, I didn't have a plan as far as, how do I say this? Like, like a lot of things were decided on a whim, where I was gonna stay, how long I was gonna stay. Like, the only reason I've been here 3 months is because I just kept, um, I stayed a month and then I had a friend flying into Bali. So I stayed another month and then I did the yoga teacher training course. And then I was supposed to be out of here like a week ago, but Kuningan happened. So I stayed longer. And the whole reason I was going to go all in on myself. I just didn't have a plan on where that was going to happen. So, like I said, I made the decision back in February-ish, February, March, to just come to Bali, to be in Indonesia, to be closer to scuba diving and all of that. And of course, plans change and things change. And I got to Ubud and decided I don't want to be diving. I want to be here experiencing the culture and the traditions and making friends and then I took a yoga teacher training and it just, you know, kind of figuring things out as I go as I'm going all in on myself and really pursuing content creation, making YouTube videos, improving my skills and writing a guidebook and all these things. And I am now running to the end of my savings that I had saved. And so what I feel is necessary at this point is to go home. Now, does that mean I'm giving up on my dreams, that I'm suddenly not going all in on myself? No. It means I'm going to go home and I'm going to work part-time or full-time and continue to keep working on this as well and still all in on myself and also have an income being generated from sources that I know how to generate income from, i.e., hospitality, yachting, uh, cleaning. I have options, which is amazing that I've spent, gosh, since I was like 16 years old, building this, I want to say catalog, resume of skills that at any given time I can work in a multitude of jobs and be able to live, to keep to keep this dream alive. And I think that, there's some people on the internet and other places that would say my moving home is a failure, or it's oh, now you're not going all in on yourself. You're actually giving up on yourself. You're giving up on the dream. And I feel like that's completely false. That's the 100% opposite of what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep the dream alive. And in order to do that, I am going to go make an income again in industries and places that I know how to make an income while I still experiment and grow this channel and work on my guidebook and yeah, get that out into the market and also create more stuff. I have so many ideas and so many things that revolve around community and building community that I need to generate an income so that I can think more about those creative aspects than worrying about not having an income. So this next chapter, I keep thinking of Ross from Friends and the scene where they're on the staircase with a couch, and it's this teeny tiny staircase in New York, I think is where it was. And he keeps saying, pivot, pivot, pivot. And everyone's getting super mad. Like, stop. There's no more pivot because I'm pivoting, but it's not a big deal. It's not a catastrophe. It's going back home and asking for help from friends, family, and what does that look like for me? I'm very fortunate that if I need a place to stay, I can have a place to stay. If I need a job, I still have connections in hospitality industry. I still have connections in the yachting industry. Like I can ask if people need help on their boats or in their restaurants and things like that. So yeah, leaning on community that I've built over the last several decades and continuing to support this dream that I have of yeah, creating community and inspiring other people to take the leap and go all in on themselves. And even if that means doing it quietly, working a full-time job and 1 hour a day, you're brainstorming ideas on your next film or you're painting every night, working on your paintings or working on a book or whatever it is, it doesn't have to look like what I did, which is this huge moving abroad and quitting and not working a traditional job and creating content. Like that's not, it doesn't always look the same for everyone, making small changes in your life every single day to work towards your dream or your goal or a trip is is also going all in on yourself. So I really wanted to talk about this because I've been feeling the pressure from the internet and from other sources. Think, kind of putting this, how do I say it? Putting this negative spin on this pivot, and it doesn't feel like that at all. This feels great. It feels like a wonderful new chapter. It feels like it's the right time. It feels like everything happened exactly as it should. I mean, the fact that I got to be here for Kuningan yesterday was just like the cherry on top. So, yeah, if you're in kind of this moment of feeling a bit stuck, or especially if it has to do with travel, if you just don't know how to navigate booking flights and accommodations and all that, I'm building this guidebook. It's going to be super helpful, not only to get you to a place of what's holding you back from actually booking the trip or doing the thing, but also a step-by-step guide on how to book the trip. So when that drops, I will definitely be posting that here and on Instagram. And yeah, I'd love to hear a comment of where you're at. If you're in a pivot zone or going all in on yourself, how's it feeling? Is it feeling good and alive, or is it feeling daunting? I'd love to hear from you. So that's my story today. I'll see you tomorrow.